Hello and welcome to the Toon Terraces podcast. I'm joined by Duncan and Michael.
Hello.
You remember from last Wednesday's match preview? Games are coming thick and fast now. Yeah, you don't know which and where we're coming from, what's happening. There's obviously things that we're going to be looking at. The first, we're going to be looking at them together, but one is obviously just taking a look back at the game against Southampton on Sunday. Obviously, it's another result that keeps us, well positioned in the race for the top four, and obviously looking at Callum Wilson's resurgence and his April, especially when we look at it. But the main question that we need to be looking at is, has the result on Sunday got us one step closer to this?
They've got to find her and let her do that in the first Champions League game. Just let her run across the pitch with it or something like that. Just run the perimeter or something. That is brilliant.
I know. And to be fair, you just want that music starts, you just say, I just need to hear the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because like I said, it's been a while. Yeah, like I said, I was at the Juventus game when Andy Griffin scored past Gianluigi Buffon, one of the greatest keepers of his time at that point.
Yeah,
and it's just there's tingles, and this is what I hope. I hope that if we do get into the top four, the last game against Leicester, that's what gets played at the end of the game.
Yeah, would they dare do that?
I think.
I mean, they probably would by then, I guess. So, just as soon as we qualify, something as that. The moment we do it. So,
when the third goal goes in or something like that, you just stop there.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's been a long time, hasn't it? And let's face it, none of us thought we'd be even talking about it now.
Well, the one thing which we'll just look at it firstly is, and we'll look at it just briefly. On this, and that's the table as it is now. Obviously, bear in mind there is a game going on at the moment. But if you're looking at that, I know there's a lot of people that are going, oh, but Liverpool played twice before us. But then you're going, right, yeah, but that would then put them on 35 games played. We'd still only be on the 33. So there's still, even if they do win both and it's down to 3 points, we've still got those two games in hand.
Yeah.
Would you now, looking at that, and we'll just take that away now, would you say Brighton's still in the fight?
I would say so, yes.
Would you say Villa are out of the fight?
Yeah. Just because of the games they've played, really. So.
And
I think we're 2 wins away from guaranteed Champions League football.
Shall we say the same with Spurs? So both Spurs and Villa, given the fact that they've played 34 games and they're on 54, they're out of the equation.
Yeah.
So it's basically between Liverpool and Brighton. Bearing in mind we have to play Brighton and so do Manchester United. So it could become a lot clearer come Thursday, because if they're still on 52 points and only a game behind us, then you'd probably look at that and go, well, Brighton are out of the equation. So Thursday is probably a big one on that. So you're looking at, and you're really thinking, if it goes as you expect it to go, and it's annoying to think that we're now looking at hoping for Manchester United to beat Brighton.
Yeah.
But at this point, you would be like, look, I'll take Man U winning if it means that we finish in the top 4. Yeah, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So here's the question: how are you confident? Do you think that? Well, we'll phrase it another way. do you think that a win this coming Sunday will guarantee it, or do you think there's still more games to play?
Go on, Duncan, you go first.
I would say 100% yes. So if you look at the points, so we're 2 wins away from guaranteed Champions League football, and that is Arsenal, and then is it Leeds away?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what, I'll put
beat Arsenal.
There are next 5 fixtures.
Yeah.
Well, or
we've only got to win.
5.
We've only got to win 2 of those to guarantee Champions League football.
Yeah.
So I would say I think we'll do Arsenal. I think we'll do Leeds, and then the rest are irrelevant. Then, aren't they?
I like his optimism.
But Leeds United are going to be under new management. Yeah,
just typical.
Big Sam.
Yeah. Vinyl in a streaming world, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about Sunday. I don't want to jump ahead because I know we'll be coming to that on another pod, but I'm not sure about Sunday. Arsenal still think they've got a chance of winning the title, so that's not going to be easy. And now if Allardyce does come in Leeds again, that won't be easy. But then again, we've got a nice easy one against Chelsea away, so because they'll still be rubbish.
Yeah,
and
Leicester as well.
Yeah, like Duncan said, 2 wins out of that. It's got to be, surely we can manage 2 wins out of those 5.
The only way we wouldn't get it is if we lost every game.
Well, that's the thing. People are saying, "Oh, we need to Liverpool need to win every single one of their games," which they are capable of doing.
Yeah,
but they need to win every single one of their games. We need to lose 4 of our next 5.
Yeah.
We've only lost 4 all season. So when you look at it that way, you're going, you would need a drastically, inferior issue, to happen. I can't see it, but as a Newcastle fan, Newcastle always do strange and mischievous things.
That's true. Yeah,
we blew a 12-point lead at the top of the table, so
yeah.
We have.
If there's a hard way of doing it, we're going to find it. Simple as that. So history will tell us. But history has changed quite a lot in the last 18 months, hasn't it? The amount of things we've defied to get this far is outstanding anyway. So, yeah, I mean, you can't fail now. I mean, no. Eddie won't let him. I mean, look at all the time. Look, we were not great on Sunday, were we? We still managed to come back with it. A team that has given us problems when we've played them. I know we've beaten them every time, but they've still always been really tough nut to crack. So we always find a way.
Which I actually think is the first time it's ever happened that a team has won all 4 games in a season against the same opponent.
Yeah.
But you look at that. You do look at it, and it is things where you look at that, and you do look at it, and you go, right, okay. It was a Brentford away. We were 1-0 down. Yeah, the game changed. Against, I'm trying to think. My mind's gone blank.
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. Yeah, we blew them out the water. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, 1-0 down at half time.
Yeah,
against Southampton, came back. Yeah, and it was relentless in the second half. Yeah. If we're looking at that, but you just look at that and you're going, Eddie Howe knows how to change these things. Yeah, change it around. You could probably even see Forest away to an extent. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Because we're drawing that game there. So but you look at that. One thing which I will just to touch on, and I will say in the first half we were poor. Whether or not we deserve to be 1-0 behind, I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe a draw would be the fairer end into that one, but we just didn't put the chances away. Unfortunately, the chances, our best chances fell to Anthony Gordon, and I'm not gonna. A lot of people will be criticising him. Because
he's an easy target, isn't he?
Yeah, and you look at that and you're going, well, Isak would have finished it. Yeah, but Isak cost a lot more. And he's had a lot more experience, and he's an international player. He's a young lad. He's still learning. He's still new to the way that Eddie Howe plays his style of football. I actually thought he did really well, especially when he was playing on the left. And when he moved to the right, I think that's what finished it, because he was poor on the right, and he just didn't suit it. He was better on the left, and he got some really good balls, and he got to the touch line. Well, he got to the line, and he was able to whack some cracking balls in. Unfortunately, there was no one in there to follow that up there. But you just look at that, and you're going, there is something there. He's probably not going to hit the heights of where we expect him to be this season. But I think once he's got a full pre-season under his belt, I think you'll see a better player. Now, I also think what was probably harming is the fact that, and it was mentioned, a lot of people were probably saying it, and I was saying it as well at half time. They're able to cope with Isak, so they can mark Isak out of the game. That's completely fine. You need Callum Wilson on as well, because then they're not going to be able to mark both players at the same time, and that's going to give one of them freedom. And it showed to be that, and it's what was needed. Isak again, no real worries, no qualms, no huffs. Just moves out of the left, and it was he got the assist for Big Cal's first goal, the equaliser, and again, great finishing if you watch it again, because I think he slips and I don't think it was how he was going to take it, but he adjusted and got the finish anyway.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I agree with what you said, really. We weren't great, and we're getting almost strange way of getting kind of used to that, really. I don't seem to panic as much now. We've got that much faith in us. So I was kind of like, but like you said, Gordon hit the post. But he's lively. I mean, two things for me. I'm not a great believer in him, but that's more to do with his personality, which has come out occasionally. But he's always looked lively when he's come on, and I think I can see it will come. So, but Bruno missed a sitter as well. We just didn't really gel much, really. And I think Southampton were a lot better than we thought they were going to be. And they went on and scored a goal. So, I mean, I didn't think they didn't deserve it, really. I thought, but as I keep saying on here, we just never lie down now. We just keep going. We just keep going and keep going. And we just literally throttle the life out of the team now. They just can't stop us. So that's how I looked at it.
Well, that was the thing, and it was a rarity aspect, but I looked at the stats at half time, and Newcastle had no shots on target.
Yeah.
And that's like worrying. But I just think, and I think it's probably what Eddie Howe looked at, is they were able to mark Isak out of the game easily, and that's why the chances were falling to. And I didn't want to say this as well, but I was also going, look, let's take Jacob Murphy off as well, because I just thought you've got a player in Miggy Almiron who has terrorised Southampton. So I'm like, let's use that to that benefit. And he did do that. Miggy does what Miggy does.
Yeah.
In that sense, we did also miss Sean Longstaff. That was plain to see in that side. It's just not the same when you don't have Sean Longstaff in that midfield. There's just something missing.
And another sentence a year ago, you wouldn't have thought we would be saying, 2 wins away from Champions League and we're missing Sean Longstaff again. You'd be having a drugs test, wouldn't you? Really? So, I mean, just amazing.
I know. We'll go with a different route there because we've covered the first half. So, Duncan, when Callum Wilson had scored the equaliser, in your minds, did you have it in your mind that we would go on and score?
Oh, it's gone.
So ask him a difficult question.
You had to duck out and think about it. That's what I was saying. It's never in doubt now. It's stupid to think like that. It really is, but I don't panic. I just think this is going to happen. And looking at the stats, we had 63. We had twice as much of the ball they had. Then we had 5 shots. Here he's back. He'll
I'm back. Sorry, guys. So what was the question mark? Sorry, I went.
We'll try it a second time before he decides that he doesn't want to answer it again. Just also an update: Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Goal scorer, I believe, is Martin Odegaard.
Oh,
Oh, it's not even on my fantasy football.
Really, I was just thinking I really should have had him in my fantasy football team because he's had a
yeah, hasn't he?
So yeah, do you think as soon as Callum Wilson scored the equaliser, in your mind were you thinking we need to go on and try and push for a second, or was it a case of no, we will go on and get a second and win this game? Because the one thing I loved about his reaction, he didn't celebrate. He waved all the players back up to the halfway line as if to say, right, we've got the draw. Come on, let's restart. We need to go on and get another one.
Yeah, I think at the moment there's it just seems to be win, doesn't it? So you get, I mean, any concern about this going forward is next season. The expectation is just going to be that next level, isn't it? You're going to expect to win. You're going to expect to get Champions League, and I've always said that once Newcastle get that Champions League, we are effectively one of the richest clubs in the world. So it's going to be really difficult to take that Champions League place away. No matter how good Liverpool, Chelsea or Spurs or Arsenal get, Newcastle, once they get their hands on that qualification position, the investment and the momentum will never go away. Like it never went away from Man City. It never went away for a period of time for Tottenham, but they stopped investing and they bought a stadium. So I'd like to think that once we get that, it will never be able to be taken away from us. So for me, yeah, once they equalised, you just assume that they're going to go on and win, like they have been. We've only lost against Liverpool and what was the other, Aston Villa
and Man City.
Well, we've only lost to Villa at home, haven't we? Liverpool at home as well, which is
so we've only lost once. Yeah, we've only lost once at home, and that was down, and that was
controversial.
Nick Pope got sent. Well, it's not really because Nick Pope got sent off, and it was a sending off.
Yeah.
To be fair, on that sense, but you just look at that and you're going, but you're still looking at it and going, Liverpool's a cracking side, and yeah. The Anfield one was probably a little bit more controversial than the St. James.
That definitely was.
Result in that sense. Yeah, Man City, it was 2-0. Yeah, and you look at that Man City team, and you look at how they've blown away some sides, and you're going, they only conceded 2 against. Yeah, we only conceded 2 against them. Yeah, at the Etihad. So that's a cracking result. Yeah, we blew Spurs away. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting going back to the second half. I believe, I might be wrong about this. No, someone will let me know if I am. I believe Southampton didn't have a touch in our box at all in that whole half. That's how dominant we were.
No, yeah, I think the percentage.
I can't remember.
They didn't even touch the ball once. No, not one of their players had a touch in our box, I think, in that 45 minutes. Which just
I'm gonna be fair. I can't remember it. I remember. All I remember is it was. That. But no, all I remember is that it was just relentless from us in the second half. It was just like constant attack. Just on the Spurs one, just in the thought which I had, and it's just a shame that All or Nothing documentary wasn't being done this series.
Yeah. The spinning manager wheel, it's almost like
I know it would have been a cracker.
It would have been good.
But no, it was that, and it the only thing that I will say which probably frustrated us is when we thought we'd went 2-1 in front, because I actually thought it was the initial phase of play when I think the ball got played to Willock and then out, and then Willock. I thought that's where the offside was. It led that it wasn't, and it was the fact that Willock was offside because although it may have touched the Southampton defender, it then touched Miggy.
Yeah,
and that. But then you look at the loads in
ages as well. That's one. I know. Duncan and I will know it because we were sat at home watching it, and I was like screwing my eyes up, going.
Well, we don't. We were like. Well, that's what then we were like. Well, how is it? And then someone came back and said, like, once it had been given, was like, "Oh, we've had a look at it, and it's it was miles off." And I'm going, well, if it's miles off, why have you? Why have you took them like 3 or 4 minutes to do it?
Because it was just so. It was like minute. It was like, did he touch it? Did he not touch it? I mean, it was.
Well, this is, and it's a good point that was made, and that was when you were looking at it, could you be certain when you were looking at what VAR were looking at that it had been touched by Miggy?
I couldn't know. I couldn't tell if it had or not. So I think
because then for me, if VAR could not be sure of that,
well, I assume they must have been. So
yeah,
you hope in the process, don't you? That they don't just go well.
But we all know from VAR that not everything is they could be sure. But that's because it wasn't given on field.
Yeah.
So normally they're going, oh well, if they can't determine it in VAR, then you stick with the on-field decision. Yeah. So you're looking at that. But then the question that you look at is, well, does Wilson then, because although it's hit the Southampton defender, does he become active again because it's touched Mickey?
Yeah, well, that's the rule, isn't it?
But then you look at that and go, well, was the Southampton defenders touched?
It was so tight. It was ridiculous. I mean,
it was. But to be fair, it's one of those ones where I look and I'm going, well, look, he was in an offside position and probably quite a clear offside position. So in that sense, you go and look, if it did touch Newcastle player, hands up.
Oh yeah,
it was.
I mean, it was so, like I say, it was so tight. I mean, if Klopp had been there, he would have gone further into the atmosphere than bloody Elon Musk's rocket. He
pulled his hamstring.
Oh, he would have pulled more than his hamstring. I think he would have pulled his arm off and hit somebody with it. Because I mean, it was just like we just sat there going, I don't know what they're looking at because I can't see it, and I don't mean that biasly. Just like I was like, what.
But we couldn't because we.
No, well, I know you couldn't, but we were at home watching it as many times as they did, and we're like, it was so tight. It was just, one of those where you should have just gone, look, just say it's offside, and that's it, and have it done with, because it's. Or they make a rule where you give the attacking team, the advantage that they're supposed to get, which is like if it's tight, you give it to the attacking team, don't you? Oh, that was the rule.
Well, no, but
it's obviously changed again. I
think there's a difference where, because obviously it's clear and obvious with VAR for things like penalties and red cards and Phil Overton, but with things like now, this is the thing: if they're trying to determine that, should the referee have not went over to the screen to judge for himself whether or not he felt that it was deliberate players or whatever? But we'll move away from that because
I mean, again, it was such a small thing.
We actually got a goal from a set piece. Surprise! Not from one of our players scoring though. It was a deflected shot from Theo Walcott.
Yeah, didn't he announce in the ground it was Bruno?
Yeah, he went. Yeah, and the scorer, say it with me, Bruno, and then
we're all going home.
And everyone's going, I don't have a clue. Yeah. If anyone's going, if anything, it's Botman. Yeah, because Botman's the one who headed it on. But to be fair, it was difficult to see. I didn't see in that. So I was like, well, I don't know who scored. And someone said, is it an own goal? I went, I don't care. From that one, I'd say I wasn't too bothered about that. The only thing I'm a little bit good about is that Callum Wilson didn't get his hat-trick because I actually thought his performance on Sunday deserved that. He was immense. And the cool and calm, if we're moving on to the third goal, the calmness of him just to go, thank you, Joe Willock. Yeah, I'm just going to nip this round the keeper. Bang, back to the net, 3-1. I think I was up celebrating in that, because I think at that point, when you've been 1-0 down at half time, the relief, because you then, and I think everyone in the ground went, right, it's 3-1, it's over, it's done with, game over, we've won. We can breathe now. We can have a sigh of relief. Yeah. And it was just a case of about, could we get a fourth or a fifth in that? I was in, I won 5. I was like, I'm greedy. Yeah. But it was. I was sat there after 9 minutes. I went, how?
We nearly got it as well. He hit the crossbar, didn't he? So
twice.
Yeah. So I mean,
he hit that's how good he is. He hit the crossbar twice off one shot. But no, because after 9 minutes in the game, I was going, how? We're not 3 now. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Like Duncan said, it's the expectancy, isn't it? Now everything's changed. You could just sense it in the crowd. You can sense it when you're talking to people. Out the way the media look at us, everything's shifting. As I kept saying before on the other channel, we're through the looking glass now, people. We're in a different orbit now. Everything, it's daft, but it's what we do as football sports, isn't it? Fickle as we are.
Well, because we now can't see. The bias against the top 6 because
Yeah. Well, I think if you
it.
look at the example of Man City, once they got that Champions League place, because we're probably 24 months ahead of our expected trajectory. Once we got that or get that Champions League place, I honestly don't see who's going to take it off us, because the investment will be that huge that you won't be able to take it off us. And all the players that Liverpool or Chelsea or Tottenham would be going for, we'll be going for them now. And we'll get them over those guys because we've got Champions League, and we'll probably get Champions League next season and the season after.
You look at that, and obviously there's been a lot of talk over the 25 million deal. There's a lot of rumours coming around that it's going to be a Dubai-based property company called Emaar.
Mm-hmm.
So
they build all the property in Dubai. Yeah.
If they give us a little bit extra, we'll change the lyrics to tell Emaar. We're off to Italy. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, if it means a few extra quid in the transfer kitty, to get in someone.
I just want to know how they know it's going to be that much. That's what I want to know. I mean, you don't. It's like going down the pub and telling everyone how much money you're on. Why do these things always come out? I mean, are they accurate? I mean, I don't think they are.
No, I think it'll be around that sort of figure, but it may bump up a little bit. Yeah, there may be bonuses over hitting certain things and stuff like that.
I think it's like what Duncan said the other week. He said about, if we get Champions League, then the amount of sponsors who are going to want to come to us, that's just going to be different as well. I don't think there's a limit how many sponsors you're allowed, is there? I mean, no. You can have as many as you want. I mean, people are going to want to...
And as long as it's in line with everyone else, and when you look at
fair market value, I think is the word that the Premier League use.
If Emaar want to give us 25 million, then that's fine.
Is actually beyond. A lot of the top six are getting about 40 million plus on their shirt sponsorship. So if that's what it is for them, then you couldn't justify unfair.
It has to be the same for us.
That sort of value from there.
Yeah.
But you could then look at the fact that we may then get like a training kit sponsor, because I know Spurs have that.
Exactly, that's what I mean. It becomes just a different game, doesn't it? Then once you get into the Champions League, it's just
You then look at the fact that we could have an official travel, airline.
The thing is,
those are the sort of things that happens in there. But you look at that. The one thing which we are going to benefit from, one, we're going to have increased prize money from the fact that we're finishing in the top. Let's say we finish in the top 4, so that's probably going to be a big boost to where we finished in 10th, in terms of the prize money, but also the television pot. Because if you think how many times we've been on TV, right, we've hardly been off it. It's like it's a rarity when we're not on TV. Say what, we're not on TV.
But the other thing as well, Mark, is that hey, we're not stupid. There's going to be an element of bias from the Middle East in terms of sponsorship. A building company like Emaar or Noon are not going to go and sponsor Leeds 5 million quid to have a little patch on their left shoulder, but they will sponsor us because we're connected. So yes, there is an element of bias, and thank you very much. We'll take that, but we're not breaking any rules. We're not breaking any rules compared to Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool. We're doing exactly what they're doing. It's just, yes, there is an element of bias, but it's bias within the rules.
Yeah.
Well, on fair market value, I think you could probably justify a higher price for Newcastle, because I actually think we would probably get more coverage than Spurs. In terms of both the interaction within the fan base. Because at the minute, the Spurs fan base is a bit fractious and against thing. Whereas our fan base is all together and all as one. So if we get a sponsor, like obviously we've got Monster who have come in as an energy drink sponsor, everyone will start drinking Monster because they'll go, well, we're going to go with them. We're not going to drink that Carabao crap or stuff like that. You then look at other things in there which could come into play, and we'll look at that. Like obviously Fly Saudi, they sponsored the trip that we had over there. That's something that's going to have, Obviously, we've got that America trip, where obviously there will be some financial benefit from the Premier League for going to do their summer series over there. I mean, so that's something else that you look at there. Just another update. It's 2-0 to Arsenal.
2-0. I mean, I said to you guys when I was with her for not obviously Sunday, didn't go to the Tottenham game. we got to the ground just as the store opened, and there was people waiting to go in. About 3 dozen people waiting to go in. There used to be a time 2 years ago where we'd go in and we'd be the only people in there. You know, I mean,
there was people trying to get out when.
Yeah, I mean, me and my son were like staggered, you know, because we were just up there, like, you know, just because we were having a walk around, and we just absolutely, I mean, thought, what are we going to do when we're massive? You know, when we get everybody else and get all the Far East people interested, and you know, because they want to be part of it. I mean, it's a monster, and that's what they've always been afraid of. All the big six have always been afraid of.
Yeah, it is that. It is that. What I just want to do is just have a quick look at and have a focus on one of our strikers, not the striker that everyone's thinking of, and one that'll probably disappoint Max. But you know, sorry, we can't talk about that. So I do apologize. I've just noticed it's now 3-0 to Arsenal.
Has Odegaard got a hat-trick by any chance?
No, this one has come from heavenly inspiration. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Could Chelsea be doing a Leeds United and
that would be
or Spurs and finding an interim manager?
Oh, don't, because you know me, I'll just spend half an hour talking about that lot. So, but Wilson, what?
Yeah,
there. Look at that man. I mean, just
7 appearances, only 2 of them a start. He's played 309 minutes. He scored 8 goals and got 1 assist.
That's just, yeah.
Unfortunately, as pointed out on
that's a goal every 38.5 minutes. So,
I mean, as pointed out on Match of the Day, it's a record that he's beaten, which was set by Alan Shearer.
Yeah, he's in good bloody company there, isn't he?
Yeah,
but I said, I can't remember if it was on this. I said a while ago, I said I think it's helped having Isak come on, because I think Wilson for the last of the Bruce years just had the whole thing on his shoulders, like Maxi did as well, where it's just we were relying on them, just them, you know, and I think he just weighed on him, and now he's free of it. He's absolutely just free. He's got this other guy. He's got competition now, so he's just free.
Got a manager in Eddie Howe that now has the players
he's worked with
can manage his injury. Yeah. So he'll know Callum Wilson, he'll know the injury, and he'll know when's the right time.
But Steve Bruce should have known him. He was there with him every day for like 2 years. Man, it just goes to show the difference, is what I'm saying. I mean, you know,
they hardly ever did training though. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
but just something which, again, just to pick up on, because there's all these plaudits on Ollie Watkins, which rightly, because he's had a good season. But you then look at this.
Yeah, well, he's probably got most of those in the last couple of games, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, but you look at Callum Wilson, and he's played, 6 games less, but
there's no doubt he dropped off after the World Cup. It's almost like he went mission accomplished, and I know he wasn't very well. I think, you know, there was talk of him having COVID, wasn't there, and maybe long COVID, I don't know, but
but you look at that and you're going, even with the 26 appearances, he's still beaten Ollie Watkins in that, and that's like, he's been out injured. He's had games where he's played but not put the ball in the back of the net, because he just has looked off to the pace. But I think you look now and you look at the fact that we've now got both of them back fit and in incredible form. It's a great, Eddie Howe must be rubbing his hands going, oh, great, I've got 2 strikers in great form. I've got Joe Longstaff coming back to hopefully be fit for Sunday's game against Arsenal. Maxi looks as if he's going to be back and fit for Arsenal. Yeah, so you're looking at that and you're going, he's rubbing his hands going, well, who do I pick?
Yeah.
I'll just put the names in. I'll just put my names in the hat.
I mean, it's a brilliant situation to be in, isn't it, guys? Simple as that. It's magic.
You do look at that, and you might look at it and go, no, Arsenal 3-0 up, against Chelsea. But I'm looking at that and going, but that's Chelsea. That I'm not going to look at that and go, oh, listen, it is going to be a hard game. To be fair, it is, and I think the away game at the Emirates showed that. But we all know if we look at last season,
What we can do. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
we can do.
And they're
last
going to want to
season-
come, not slip up again, aren't they? They know they can't afford to slip up.
But last season, we didn't have a Callum Wilson on red hot form. We didn't have a Joe Willock on red hot form. We didn't
Isaac.
have, Isak on red hot form. Yeah. So you look at that. We didn't have Sven Botman.
Yeah.
No.
So you're looking at all these things.
It's a pretty great night, though.
And yeah, it was.
It was a fantastic evening.
But this time, we've now got the scarves.
Yeah, they're bringing them back, aren't they? You know, so even though it's going to be really warm.
Well, to be fair, man, it's debatable because it's Newcastle. So even in
That's
May, it might
true.
not necessarily.
That is very true,
warm.
isn't it? That is true, yeah.
But that's all. Well, I'll sweat. I don't care. You know, if I have to wear a scarf and sweat just so it means that we get the result that we need to, I'm happy to sacrifice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take one for the team. It doesn't bother me. In that sense, I'll probably still sweat less than some of the players out on there.
Yeah.
But no, it is just. It's amazing when you're now looking at that going, oh, we just want to beat Arsenal because we want to. For the sake of it, we're now looking and going, we want to beat Arsenal because it's potentially going to put us in a position where we'll be playing the top level of European football. I believe we've already secured 7th.
Yeah.
So, so one way or another, we will be on our travels.
We were in Europe, 100%.
Get ready, Europe. Get ready.
It's just whether or not we're going to be traveling to Italy, Greece, or Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Yeah.
we
probably,
don't know yet.
Probably Germany and Spain and Italy, I would have thought. So,
but you'd take any of those, and I would take any of those. Yeah,
I think just because of the way they've got better teams, haven't they? I think we'll definitely be going to one of those places. So,
yeah, from my understanding, we won't be playing a team from Sweden because I don't think there's a team from Sweden that's going to make it into the Champions League.
Malmo's probably your
Malmo. Maybe a friendly Max. Might have a friendly with them.
Well, we made it, but we're over in Scotland and America for pre-season. Yeah, so let's look at that. What we'll do is we'll wrap it up now. We'll keep it short and sweet, just like Miggy. And what we'll do is, one normal thing on Friday, we'll have our match preview to look ahead at the Arsenal game, and then go from there. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you on Friday.
See you later.